Hi there, thank you for joining me today. I'm Laura and welcome to the Makeup Hunter. So for today's video I thought we would do a nice and simple get ready with me. I haven't done one of these on my channel yet, but I have some new products that I want to try out, so I thought we'd just put some makeup on this face, try out some new products, have a little bit of a chat, get to know each other a bit better. Just before I get started, I just want to mention a couple of things. One, I really hope the lighting is better in this video than in my previous videos. I have invested in a second ring light, so hopefully it's a little bit less shadowy. Unfortunately my room is quite dark anyway, but I thought with a second ring light it might alleviate some of the warm tones that I keep getting in my videos. And also the second thing I want to say is I really do apologise about the sound of the fan. It is just too hot to film in this bedroom without it. I need to invest in a silent one, but at the moment that's all I've got and I just can't film without it. I'd be a sweaty melting pool. So those things aside, I hope this video is enjoyable for you and it just gives us a little bit of an opportunity to get to know each other better. So let's get started. I'm just going to scrape my hair out of my face and we'll get going. Okay, so let's get started. I've just got that little bit of hair out of my face so I don't get it all caked up with makeup. So first of all, I have a selection of makeup with me. I'm hoping to be going on holiday soon. I thought I was going to be going tomorrow, so I stupidly, even without booking anything, packed the makeup that I wanted to take on holiday with me. And I thought what I'd do is stick to the makeup that I've packed to go on holiday to make sure that I've got everything that I need for a full face and a good selection of colours and products to take with me. So I've got sort of a simplified range to choose from than I would usually. So first things first, I'm going to prime my skin using the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Primer. Now I've had this a while and I've never used it. I've heard some really good things about it. And it's got brightening in the name of it, which is basically what I want in any of my base products. Anything brightening, glowy, hydrating. So I'm just going to put that across the whole of my face. It comes out like a yellow colour, but it doesn't have any colour to it. When it's on the skin it just gives a nice bit of radiance, and you can actually see, I'm not sure whether it'll pick up on camera, but you can actually see the light, the shine on my hands. So that feels really nice and hydrated. One thing I do want to mention for this video, I'm going to try and not wear mascara or do anything to my brows, as I've had a lash lift and brow lamination, and my beautiful cousin did those for me, so thank you very much, Rebecca. So and I haven't worn makeup yet, so I want to see if I can get away without mascara today, but we'll see. So next up I'm going to use my Becca colour corrector in Pistachio. So this is a green colour corrector. This is a brand new pot. I completely forgot I'd got this, and I've just dug it out to remind myself to start using it. And I have been getting some redness across my cheeks, I think from using retinol. I think it's making my cheeks a little bit red, so I'm just going to put that colour corrector, just using my fingers on those areas where I get a little bit of redness, and around my nose. and you can just sort of, hopefully you can see a difference. So I'm just going to put it on the other side and then I'll come back. Okay, so I have the colour corrector on both of my cheeks now. I've literally just put it across my cheeks and around my nose where I get a little bit red. And next I have used this product before quite a few times. It was actually in my current favourites, but I want to try using it in a slightly different way, but we'll see how it goes. This is the NARS Tinted Glow Booster, and this is the light shade in Calvoya, and this, as the name suggests, is a glow boosting product. It's slightly tinted. You can get this in darker shades, and the way I want to try and use it today is actually instead of foundation, but I don't know how that's going to look. I've seen a couple of people use the darker ones alone as like a very light coverage foundation, almost like bronzing drops for like a no makeup look. And because I'm going for more of a sheer coverage today, I don't want to do anything too dramatic because I don't want to wear mascara or do too much to my brows, and I don't want it to look hard. So I'm going to give this a go and see if it looks okay on its own. I have got concealer for if I want to, you know, amp up the coverage a little bit. So I'm just going to take a couple of pumps of this onto my hands. I took about 3 pumps. Not much comes out with 1 pump of this, and I'm literally going to put this on with my hands, and then I shall go in with a sponge just to smooth over everything. So I'm going to go over with the sponge, a damp sponge now, just to make sure that it's all blended in, and I'm just going to check to see if I need any more coverage. I mean, it gives such a beautiful glow, this product, and it just feels really nice on the skin. I don't even really need to go over it with a sponge because it's nicely blended anyway. And I think actually I'm quite happy with that level of coverage. I mean, I've been enjoying, as I've mentioned previously, a more sheer coverage, and I actually like that you can see that, you know, some of my imperfections through, and I love the glow that gives. If I was going to put anything else on, it was just going to be the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturiser, but I think I'm happy with it as it is. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to use a little bit of my Becca Under Eye Brightener, and again I use my fingers for this product. So I'm just going to apply that under my eyes. And it is a very tacky product, so I like to apply it with my fingers, get the coverage that I need, tap it in, and then I'll go over with a damp sponge just to press it into the skin. And this is such a beautiful product. It is so brightening under the eyes, gives that lovely radiance under there and just gives a real lifted appearance. So now I'm going to use, this is just the sponge I used before is a Morphe sponge. They come as a duo, so you get the bigger one and the smaller one, and I'm just going to use the smaller one under my eyes just to press that in. Okay, and now just for a little extra coverage, I'm going to use the Pretty Fresh hyaluronic acid concealer, and I'm just going to use a very small amount of this under my eyes. So I apply that to the inner corner and outer, and a little bit down the centre of my face. And using the same sponge, I'm just going to blend that out. Okay, so I'm going to finish blending this concealer out and then I'll come back. Okay, so my concealer's all blended in. I'm really happy with the level of coverage that I have. I don't think I need to add anything extra. So now what I'm going to do is just very lightly set my face. Really, I just want to set under my eyes and around my expression lines where makeup tends to wear off on me throughout the day. So the powder that I am obsessed with at the moment and I'm almost out of is the YSL Soufflé D'éclat, and this is in shade number 3. My mum actually gave me this powder, so it wouldn't be shade 3 that I would usually get. I'd usually get a light powder, but it looks absolutely fine. And I'm going to mix in a tiny bit of the Bare Minerals Feather Light. I mentioned this in my current favourites video that I like to do this. I like to make a little powder concoction. So I literally just put a tiny bit of the Feather Light in the cap and mix it in with the YSL powder. And I'm just using a small powder brush. This is a MAC. Oh, the numbers rubbed off, so I'm not 100% sure what number this brush is, sorry. And I'm just going to set under and on my eyelids, and the mixture of the Feather Light into this powder just gives a lovely little bit of extra radiance and luminosity, and I feel it makes it a little, I mean the YSL powder is very finely milled anyway, but I feel because the Feather Light, as it sounds, is such a very light powder, I feel like it thins the YSL powder out a little bit as well, but the radiance it gives is just stunning. So I'm just setting along my expression lines. Okay, and that is my skin pretty much done. Okay, so next I'm going to use a little bit of my Chanel bronzer, cream bronzer. I haven't used this yet. Today will be the very first time I'm trying this on my skin, and I'm going to use it the usual way that I would apply cream bronzer, which is with a Zoeva 125 stippling brush, and I'm literally going to go into the pan. The smell of this is so nice. And then I'm going to start to warm up my skin a little bit. It's not a sticky product, it's quite a dry formulation. So I'm finding that it's incredibly buildable. I mean, you can see that excuse me, that just gives a lovely hint of warmth to my skin. As I mentioned in my video when I hauled this, you can see how pale I am. I have fake tan on at the moment, and this is quite light on me, so how they can call this a universal bronzer, I do not know. You can just see the difference there in the two sides of my face about how lovely and light and warm it is. I knew I was going to love this product, and this is a real first impression. As I say, I haven't used it, I've just swatched it. And it's such a lovely light wash of warmth across my skin. I think that just looks absolutely beautiful. So I've just sculpted out my face with it. I'm not contouring, so I am I've not been too precise where I've put it, and I've took a little bit across my nose just to add a little bit of more warmth across the skin. So that is an absolute winner for me. I'm really, really impressed with that. And then what I like to do before I do anything else to my face is use a little bit of setting spray. This is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh. So I'm just going to spritz my face lightly, just to blend all of the creams and the powders together. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just give my brows a brush through, brush them into like an upright position, and just go over my lashes using a clean mascara wand. So I'm just going to brush my brows up into place. Not using any product on them, as I said, I've had them laminated, so they go up nicely on their own. And just brush through my lashes just to take any powder residue off them. Okay, now we're gonna prime the eyes, and to do that I always use MAC Paint Pot. For today I am going to use Laying Low, which is quite a warm toned taupe, I would say. On my very pale skin it will show up, so I'm going to keep it sort of on the lids and into the crease to sort of sculpt out my eye a little bit. So I'm just going to put that on using my finger. It's pretty much the same colour as the bronzer, to be honest, but I absolutely highly rate MAC Paint Pots for an eye primer. Now, as you can see, it's just added a little bit of definition and warmth to the eye, but the main thing that I like about this is my eyeshadow blends lovely on top of it. It won't budge. I don't set this, I just leave it and I start blending shadow straight on top of it. So I'm going to do the other eye and then I'll come back. Okay, for tonight's eyeshadow look, as I've mentioned, I want to do something really nice and simple, and I want to use a Dior palette. I'd want to use one of my older Dior palettes that I've not really used. So this is what the palette looks like. It's just a very light neutral toned palette, and I think I'm pretty much going to do one or two colours, well two colours across the eye. I want to use this on my brow bone, which is like a lovely shimmery beige, and then I think I want to use this cooler toned brown just across the lid and blend it up into my crease. Really, really simple, just something nice and subtle. And to do that, I'm going to use the 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush from Zoeva. It's just a flat, fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into the light tone first, and I'm just going to pop that across my brow bone. just for subtle highlight. Now I love a good cut crease, warm tone, smoky eye. Those are my absolute favourite kind of eyeshadow looks to do. But lately I've really been appreciating something super simple. Just throw 1 or 2 colours on the eye, lashings of mascara and out the door. The reason I wanted to do this so subtle tonight is, as I say, I really don't want to put mascara on, and I think if you're going to do something bold on the eye, you really do need mascara to balance it out, or it kind of makes you look a bit bold. So next I'm going to use, for the slightly deeper tone, I'm going to use a Morphe M433. It's very similar to the Zoeva brush. In fact, they could be twins. So that's the Zoeva and that's the Morphe. So I'm going to use the Morphe one just to take that cool toned brown across the lid. Now I'm not sure that they do this palette anymore, but this is the number 30 in Incognito, and it's one of the Christian Dior 5 colour palettes. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that taupey colour and just brush that across the lid. I'm not zooming you in because I'm really not doing anything complicated. If you hear any funny noises, my puppy's dreaming just behind me, so. And I'm just softly blending it up into the crease and above. Just something really subtle. Okay, so I'm going to catch the other eye up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished the eyes. All I did was finished the other eye, just took that cool tone taupe across the lid. I've also put a little bit of it under my lower lash line. And I've used the brow bone highlight on my inner corner as well. I brushed through my lashes just to take off the powder residue from the eyeshadow, and those are my eyes finished. All I'm going to do is just use a little bit of liner in the waterline, and for that I'm going to use this Inglot Kohl pencil in number 3. It's just a very rich chocolatey brown, so I'm just going to run that through my waterline. This just adds a little bit of definition. I rarely do an eyeshadow look without putting something in my waterline. And there we go, that just adds a little bit of something. Okay, now the main focus that I want for this look is cheeks and lips. I dug out my MAC blushes that I bought quite a while ago, that I thought were eyeshadows. They were a new release for MAC when I got them. They're like mini powder blushes. So these, and they put them with the eyeshadows because they look exactly like eyeshadows. They're the size of the eyeshadow pans, and I got these beautiful colours. So I got this shimmery orange, this deep reddy orange, and this like pinky toned red. And I wanted to add a real pop of colour to the cheeks with one of these blushes. Now the only thing is with these blushes, because of the size of them, they are a little bit awkward to apply. What I want to do first is just add a little bit of highlight, and for that I think I want to try the Chanel Le Blanc fluid. This is the light pink liquid highlighter. I haven't used this on my face. Again, like with the bronzer, this is a first impression, so I'm just going to pump some of this on the back of my hand. Just one pump, I don't think I'll need much more than that. And I'm just going to apply it with my fingers. It's super fluid, so I'm really hoping this doesn't disturb what's underneath. I always like to do my highlight before blush, because I think it just, adding the blush over the top of the highlight just helps everything blend together nicely. So I'm just going to press that in. It's really cooling, it's got a really cooling sensation on the skin, and I like to take my highlighter quite far up underneath my eye, because I think it just helps brighten that whole area. And I also take it up onto the temples and down onto the apples of my cheek. It hasn't disturbed the foundation at all. That is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. It feels like skincare, which is strange because it feels like I'm applying skincare on top of my makeup. So I'm just applying the same on the other side. And honestly, having your brows laminated and lash lift really does make such a difference. I mean, I don't think I could go without mascara or anything in my brows. If I was doing full glam, I think I would need at least mascara. But just for this no makeup, very fresh faced look, I think it looks beautiful just with nothing on my lashes and brows. So I'm just taking that same highlighter across my chin, and what's left I'm just going to apply a little across my forehead, just to give a little bit of something where the light hits. Oh, that's so pretty. That's just put the life back into my skin. Really, really beautiful. I love that. Okay, so now I've finished gazing at my own reflection, I'm going to put a little bit of blusher on. And I think the one I'm going to use for today to match the pinky toned highlighter and the cooler tone on the eyeshadow, I think I'm going to use this pinky red, and this one is called Never Say Never. I'm not sure what brush to use for this. I think I'm going to use this little Zoeva Luxe highlight brush. This is the number 105, and it's just a small tapered highlight brush. I always use this for blush, for more concentrated blush looks. So the way I'm going to use this, because it's such a pigmented blush, I don't want to look like a doll, so I'm going to get some on my brush, and then I'm just going to tap off the excess on the back of my hand and just go directly onto the apples of my cheeks. And that just adds a lovely little flush. Okay, I'm going to do the same again. I'm just tapping the excess off onto the back of my hand and then going onto the apples of my cheeks. And I'm blending up over the highlight as well, so it all blends in together. And I'm also going to put a little bit across my nose. Now, on camera, that looks mega intense. I think it's the lighting, because in person it's really not that intense. Let's finish with lips. So for lips, I have quite a few new products to try, but I've only got one pair of lips, so I'm just going to use the one. And the one I've been dying to try is this NARS matte lipstick in Ravishing Red. Now, I've never tried NARS lipsticks before. I've got their soft matte crayons, but not actually any of the bullet lipsticks. And this colour just spoke to me. Now, I have tried it on my lips, just a quick swatch on my lips just to see how it was, and I was surprised at how matte this feels. This feels like using a crayon, like a proper kids colouring crayon. It has that real waxy texture to it. So I have got some of the Glossier Balm.com on my lips, so I'm just gonna slightly rub that in a bit, and then I just need to line my lips with something. And I think I'm going to line my lips using Morphe Blossom. This is like a shimmery coral. And I bought that lipstick, NARS Ravishing Red, whilst I was on my hunt for the perfect orange red lipstick. Online it looked more orange than it is. It's actually more of a pinky toned red, I think. So with this orange lip liner, which I had and was using as an eyeliner and completely forgot about it, I think it might give it that more orangey lean. But I've picked that Ravishing Red because of the colour that I've gone on the blush. So and these Morphe lip liners are really nice. As I say, I was using it as an eyeliner. I think you can actually use them as both. They're just called colour pencils, so you can use them for eyes and lips. But on the website, this is actually in the list of lip liners in the description box. But they're super soft and super creamy, and they're only £4.50, and they often have shades on offer. And I haven't done anything too precise. I've just lined and then smudged my lips together, because these, I think with a lipstick that's as matte as this one is, it's nice to give more of like a blotted effect. So this is the shade. I'll actually swatch it for you. And as you can see on the swatch, it is more of a pink toned red. Okay, let's get to apply it. And as you can see, when it goes on, it isn't awfully pigmented because it's so matte. It's one of those that I feel like you've got to put on a good few coats to get full opacity. But that's not the look that I'm going for. I want more of a worn in, undone kind of look. The balm is really helping that I've got on underneath, because when I tried putting this on without a balm, I felt like my lips were going to split. It was dragging that much. But I actually love the colour, and I love the effect of that lipstick. So let's take my hair out. and I'll just bring you a little bit closer. And what do we think? I feel super pretty. I really like this. I love the whole sheer glowy skin, but with a real red lip moment. I feel really pretty, which is something that I don't say very often. And let's just give you a sneaky peek of the sleeping pup. I swear that dog sleeps more than I do, and that's really saying something. So let's put you back. So that's it for today's video. I really hope this was enjoyable. I was going to use it as a get to know me, but I just rambled on so much about the makeup that I was using that I didn't really do a get ready with me style video, which is an epic fail. But still, I hope it was okay. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're all doing well, keeping safe, that your families are well. Big love to you all from me and Raymondo. Lots of love. Bye.